sure that that's true. Yes, so we're now recording, and I welcome you to the parent orientation for the 2020-21 year for grades 1 through 5. And I'm Therese Stahl, director of the department, and Christy Lohr is here also. She is our coordinator for those grades as well. I'm going to share my screen in a couple seconds in order to have our opening prayer. It's a 3-minute guided prayer that Loyola Press has on their website. They have a different prayer each morning. This particular one was from earlier in the month. And I will just invite you to read along on the slides and follow along as you pray. And I won't be saying anything. It'll just be all on the slides. So I invite us to remember that Christ is present when we are gathered. And you will see the prayer there on your screen. So let's begin in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And I invite you to read the slides. Yes. All right. Hopefully you will all now see me again. I thank you for those few quiet moments in prayer. I did choose that particular prayer for a reason, because it helped us focus on saying yes to God. And that does relate to what we are talking about today. It relates to the goal that we have for all of you, that the parish has for you, for faith formation for this year. And that goal really is to put us all in touch with Jesus Christ. To build up the personal relationship that you have with Christ and that your children have with Jesus and with the church that he founded. So that's our main goal for the year. just to build that personal relationship up. So I invite you, as I continue, to think about in your mind just a question to keep in mind. And that would be, what might be some of your big concerns that you have about the move that we're making this year for various reasons to at-home faith formation? So what are your big concerns, and how might we help you if you have ideas on that? And I'm going to invite you, if you have access to the chat box on your screen, to type those concerns in. If you'd like, type the message in to the chat box. And also, if you have any questions as I'm talking throughout this evening, type those in as well. Because of the number of people on this call, it's going to be hard to interact with you personally and directly. But Christy will be monitoring the chat box, and will either try to answer your questions right away, consolidate them in some way, and at the very least, we'll collect them so that if I don't answer a question, I'll be able to do so by email. So again, if you have access to that chat box, please share what your concerns are for the year, and if you have any questions about what I'm saying. As I said, the goal for the year is to work on our relationship with Christ. And it's actually a really small interior goal. It's to kind of just say yes to God in our hearts, to help your children say yes to God in their hearts in the small everyday moments. And that really is what faith is about, saying yes to God, as Mary did, as an example for us. But there's the huge reality. And as a parent, I understand it. Parenting is hard. Catholic parenting is even harder. And it might even be harder this year than other years because of the situation we're in. I have suffered, and I know many of you might suffer from a feeling that we don't have enough knowledge to help our children learn. We might not feel like we have a very supportive Catholic environment, either in our home specifically or in our larger family, or we might not feel connected with the parish. So we might lack that support. We are all overwhelmed with the pandemic, with our jobs and our home responsibilities, with keeping the kids focused on school, by any number of things in our daily life. And I understand that, and I want to acknowledge that. But I also want to say that God is found in those struggles that we have in our daily life. And I know that because I've had those struggles and I have found God there. And so part of what we hope to accomplish this year is to help you, facilitate you, help you identify God in your lives. You know, when we start family faith gatherings, we ask the children, where have you seen God, you know, over the last week and over the last month? And that hopefully will be a constant question between you and your children. Where do we as a family see God? Because when we see God, when we know God is there, we can build that relationship with Him. Remember that goal of the year is relationship building. It's learning comes second. The lessons, the doctrine, that comes, but we need to have that relationship first with Christ, with God, with the church. If we don't have that, then the things we're teaching, the doctrine, they fall flat. They sound flat. They don't have any roots to live and grow. So that building that relationship is first and foremost. So how will we help you do that? What will we provide? The biggest thing will be family catechists. And I'm really excited about this because many of you, you know what a classroom catechist. Okay.
No, bottom of the volume
Got it.
of the computer.
Okay.
Just slide it over.
All right. I am so sorry. Technical difficulties. So my computer just crashed, and so Christy's going to try to restart it, and I'm on hers right now. So as I said, the goal of the year is relationship. One of the ways we're going to help you form that and deepen that relationship is with family catechists. Family catechists in this role are mentors. Each of you will be broken up into groups of 10 families, probably 10 or more families. Right now, I think all our groups are at 10, and we're still getting some registrations. The groups are two different types of groups. One of them are the groups for the kids preparing for First Reconciliation and First Communion. So it's a Sacrament family group. And most of those are in grade 2. There are a few of us, though, who will be in the older grades. We have 4 or 5 groups of children preparing for those first sacraments. The other groups will be groups of grades 1, 3, 4, and 5. So you will be in family groups, and there will be multiple age children with you because your children are multiple age children. We're not splitting family children up except for the sacramental year. So each of you has a family catechist. So what is this catechist? It's a mentor. It's a helper for you for this year. The catechist is actually more of a helper for the parents this year than for the children. They will help the parents form the children because of the model that we have this year. What that means is catechists will reach out to each of the families in their group at least twice a month. So the reach will be either email mostly or phone. And they'll connect with you, see what resources you need. They may suggest resources that are lesson specific. All the catechists this year are returning. Most of them are returning after many, many years of teaching in the classroom. So they have a lot of expertise on communicating catechetical lessons to children. You have the expertise of, communicating with your own kids, of teaching them things all the time, every day. And the catechists have that specifically with faith. So you'll be a team together, essentially, that you can, the catechist will be a resource for you to use in that role. So they will specifically be talking with you. There won't be any one catechist meeting with multiple kids on any virtual platform. We won't be doing that. So there won't be virtual classes at all. We decided that many of the kids are doing that anyways on day school, or they were going to be doing that on day school. A lot of people have screen fatigue at this point. And the lessons really are meant to be family oriented. So it's around your kitchen table, and it's at in your living room. It's in your car, driving back and forth. It's at dinner time. It's whenever and wherever it will work for you. So the virtual class wasn't needed, wasn't necessary. So they will call you at least twice a month, and they will send lesson-specific help for you by email and phone. I have told them that if, as a family group, they were comfortable with technology and wanted to gather the entire family group together virtually at some point, that was up to them and you. But it wasn't an expectation of the program. And they have some guidelines for that if they'd like to consider that. They will also be asking for your prayer intentions. They will be your family prayer buddy. And I encourage you to share those with them, and they'll ask you to pray as well. And perhaps as a whole family group, all 10 to 15 families together, you can share prayer intentions together, pray for each other. And maybe when we can finally get together without masks and social distancing, we can do that and meet together, as family groups and have some community and share that. So those are the main functions of a family catechist. The other support that it will provide for you are the family faith gatherings, and we are still continuing those once per month, and they will be. I think I hear my computer back up. So in a minute, I'll go back over there. In any case, the family faith gatherings will be once a month starting in October, and we will do them live, knock on wood. And they will be under an hour. I know that it's going to be difficult. We want to make them interactive, and we want to make them fun, and we want to make them impactful. So we also want you to try to attend together as a whole family. So parent or parents and grades 1 through 5 child. So you registered initially for a family faith gathering you chose Sunday at 9 a.m. or Wednesday at 6 p.m. We will still offer them at those times, live online, 9 a.m. and Wednesday at 6 p.m. They will be on the Microsoft Teams platform. So if this is working for you, that will work for you too. But we will also record them. So if you are unable to attend live, you'll be able to gather as a family and watch those. We will be taking attendance, so we're going to ask you, if you do watch the recording, just to let me know that you've done that, and then that way we can kind of gauge how successful they are for this year, because I know it'll be a different experience. Christy, are you up and running on my computer?
Yes, I am.
Can we switch back? Okay, bear with us. I just have all my files here. Sorry, I have all my files here, so I just want to be able to give you what I So family faith gatherings are, the other one thing that we will be providing. The other thing we will be providing is the curriculum itself, and that will be 2 different book series. One for the kids who are preparing for First Communion and First Reconciliation, and that's called Signs of Grace. And then the other would be the material for grades 1, 3, 4, 5. And that's called A Family of Faith. And so all of them will have a verbal interface or a internet interface. And I'm going to share that with you. Christy, I'm getting a little feedback.
All right.
You want to mute yourself? That's much better. Thank you. So I wanted to share what that interface would look like. It's called Flipgrid. It's an educational platform produced by Microsoft, and it was recommended by the diocese for classes that are going remote this year for various reasons. And so next week, as a family, you will get an email with your family group assignment, which is basically your class assignment. The old time language is your class assignment. You'll get the family group assignment, which tells you what family group you're part of, who the Catechist is, and an invitation to Flipgrid with a code. So let me share my screen with you. And when you get this code, and direction, you'll go to the Flipgrid website. And this is what you'll see after you put in your join code. This is the platform, the grid for the groups that are in grades 1, 3, 4, and 5. So the non-Sacramento people. You'll see the name of the group. It's family groups for what I just said, grades 1, 3, 4, and 5. And you'll see this particular page is for September 6th through September 30th. It's called Getting Started. There are other, this is called the topic. There are other topics. We have 2 topics posted. We also have the topic for September 20th through October 30th posted. So the first lesson, Getting Started. The second lesson is What is Prayer? And so on this page, you'll see the essentials listed here of the things to do. Basically, the essentials for this month are to complete the Getting Started lesson plan. And then by the end of the month, to post your child's response to the reflection for the month. And the response in this case is to tell us about or show us your family prayer corner and your prayer board. And for the Getting Started lesson, that's basically the goal of the lesson, to create a family prayer corner and a prayer board for each child. So the first thing as a parent you would do is click this Getting Started lesson, and you would come to a PDF file. And I'm hoping you're seeing a PDF file coming up. Yes. Okay, good. So the PDF file gives a suggested calendar for the month. And in this case, the week of 9/6, we provide you a week for parent preparation. 9/13, we suggest that be the week you do the lesson, but it doesn't have to be. This parent preparation and this lesson can happen anytime during the month. And then by 9/30, you're going to do that monthly, that reflection response online. And then we give you, just for October, we give you a couple extra weeks for October to hop into the October lesson so that you can get your feet wet, because the October lesson is a little bit longer. It's a normal lesson. This one is just sort of a Getting Started lesson. So you'll see here on the page that by the end of September, as a parent, we invite you to go over the parent guide. And that's going to be a book that you receive a week from today. And in the lessons, the pages in the parent guide for this particular lesson that provide background for you. You don't have to read this is a you don't have to read everything we give you. Skim it or watch some of the videos we have if you're more of a video person. But this provides you background on what to do. So the goal of this lesson is to build the family prayer corner and the prayer board. And then also always it will be to pray together regularly. And I always have optional things for the parents to do if you want to delve more into your own formation. A lot of them are on the form.org account, which should be free because we provided that for you. So don't pay for it if you go to try to sign up and they ask you to pay. But once you get an account, you can view some videos. And there's a lot there. There's movies for kids and other things. So that's the parent kind of guide for the month. And then the children, by the end of that month, this would be what we ask the children to do. And that is work in the activity book, pages 1 through 6. They create their personal prayer board. They help create a family prayer corner. They do some optional activities if they're older. And if they're younger, they do a different optional activity. And there's a couple very short 2-minute, 3-minute videos to watch together. And then the kids post that prayer reflection. So let me go back and show you kind of, that was what you just saw was accessed by the Getting Started lesson plan. Down here, there are links to all the videos mentioned in the lesson plan. So that's a parent video, a family prayer to pray, a child's video to watch. There's a little fun GIF here of the Cubs and praying. this is about prayer. So just, a little fun thing. So what your child would do on Wednesday, October 30th or before would be record a response. And in this case, I recorded one and I'll play it. I basically am sharing with all of you the prayer corner that I have in my office, which is there, and the prayer board. So I'll fast forward. There's the prayer. And so I explain in the video and in the lesson plan explains also that prayer board and prayer corner, what the focus for the year will be. It'll be there. So just to show you kind of a similar layout for the month of October, you're focusing on what is prayer. We're doing a lesson plan. The month of October, we do have our first family faith gathering the month of October, and then there's a reflection question the month of October. And in that case, your child could post a response to how is prayer a gift from God for you and your family? Why should you pray? And they would record it right down here. A thing about the recorded responses, they only allow about 1 minute and 30 seconds on Flipgrid, so it doesn't have to be long. It could also be a drawing that you could upload as part of the video. It could be something that the child writes and then reads. If you would rather not have your child on the video, you could share what your child's answer would be as a parent. We want to be very flexible and understanding of your privacy and understanding of, the children's modes of learning and expression. So that definitely is something that's doable. I did want to share also the Flipgrid for Sacramento families. And it looks basically like this, the name here, Sacramento Family Groups, grades 2 through 5. You will see a similar topic here. This is the first topic of the month, and it is due September 20th. The first session, God is our loving Father. And then you see we have the second session, the second chapter, God reveals his saving plan. And also, like the previous grades, you have essentials listed for the month, and that you can access a lesson plan. SOG is Signs of Grace, the name of the book. You can access the lesson plan. You also have a reflection. It's a weekly reflection rather than a monthly reflection for the sacraments. You also have links to videos, and then a way to record the response. For the Signs of Grace lesson plan, when you click on that for the week, you also have a calendar with suggestions on when things are done and due. You have an expectation for parents, and you have an expectation for children. And you also have an invitation to form.org to view some background videos. For the Sacramento session, the form.org videos are part of the children's lesson as well. So we definitely want you to get that account if you don't already. And for everyone, you're all gonna receive a book of Bible stories that's specifically for the lower grades. You're gonna have some suggested reading there and some suggested prayers. All right, I'm gonna come back to my screen and ask if Christy handed me a couple of questions that were concerns that she felt maybe we should talk about. That you were concerned that your kids would not be getting an opportunity to share faith with their peers, and that the kids would not feel a part of the church community. I totally understand those concerns. I am hoping that the video responses on Flipgrid they will be open for comment and open for students, children, as well as catechists to comment on the videos themselves. So I'm hoping to get that interaction, especially with the kids in your family group. You'll get that list of the children in your family group. You can look for their names specifically on that sharing platform, and encourage them to watch the responses from those kids in the family group and comment and do so like that. We do hope that they feel part of the community by being part of the year. I am going to try, I mean, I really would like the family catechist to help with that role, to reach out. And, you know, if this is a huge concern, and maybe it is for all of you, we will investigate the ability to bring everybody together virtually as a family group. Maybe we have, you know, one day a month that each group gets together virtually, or maybe we meet social distanced outside in the fall as a family group. It's going to be very organic. It will be, it will come from you in how we do that. I am sensitive to the fact that not everybody wants to gather together. Some people haven't returned to church, and some people, some families have children and parents with serious health conditions, so they don't want that. But if you want that, if you need that, then work with your family catechist to help facilitate that. And if I can help facilitate that, I will. When I say it's organic, I really mean it will. You're going to drive this. You're going to have more power than what you realize to do that. You know, we will be responsive to your requests and your needs. And if you want to, you know, gather on site, if somebody wants to, you know, we tried this last year, but it rained. If somebody in your family group wants to bring your fire pit and you want to gather together on a Saturday night in the parking lot and roast marshmallows, everybody can wear a mask and we can do that. But we're going to do it in small family groups this year because of the, you know, of the pandemic and of everybody's concerns. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. Christy, were there any other kind of big questions that were out there? Okay. Oh, good. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna, Christy, do you want to explain the book winners while I look to see what else I forgot because my script got crashed? Okay. I'll mute myself.
Can't hear.
I think you're on mute.
Oh, so you see my lips moving, but no words. Oh,
I
thank you.
can't get my chat to work, so sorry.
Well, thank you. What I was saying is we did a quick, I was trying to catch the people as they logged in, and thank goodness the attendant view gives me the order of that people came in. And what Therese has is 2 books. They're at her desk. She'll have to show you a picture of the book because I don't have it here. But we took our 10th and our 12th caller coming in. Our 10th caller in was the Walsh family, and our 12th family was the Isaacson family. So congratulations, you get a book.
Okay, so the book is a storybook of saints. One of our publishers gave us 2 copies, and it's you know, a nice little bedtime read for your kids to look at the saints. So thank you for joining us. Congratulations to those 2 families. All right, I have my script back up. I'm just gonna kind of scroll. As I do, if anybody has any more questions, feel free to share out loud or in the chat box. Oh, okay. If you know that your name is not on your screen and you want to share who share your identity with us, please do. Okay, we had Amanda Olenek. You had your hand up. Did you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, I cannot get my chat to work. Just a quick question. So my son is in 2nd grade, and I had noticed for the Flipgrid, it had referenced grades, all the lower grades except 2nd. Will we be using that as well?
Yes, there are 2 different Flipgrids. One is for the non-Sacramento families, which is what you saw, grades 1, 3, 4, and 5. And then the other one is for grade 2, and then any older kids who are preparing for first reconciliation and first communion.
Okay.
That was something I showed at the very end, so I'm sorry that didn't come through. But
Sorry.
you will have your own Flipgrid, and you will have your own materials specific to the Sacramento preparation.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And then let's see, anybody? No, that's it. Okay, go ahead. Christy has 3 more questions. Okay, so the question was, when do you officially begin? And I would say you can officially begin as soon as I send out that invitation to Flipgrid, which I'm hoping to do on Tuesday, the 8th of September, right after Labor Day. And the next day will be material pickup. On the Flipgrid, you will have things to do right away. There will be some videos that the kids can view. There'll be some videos that you as parents can view. So if you don't want to wait until Wednesday night for the books, you can get started. I think the first, well, for the sacraments, I'm looking up because my calendar's up here. The sacraments, the first lesson starts September 13th. And then there's a lesson each week after that for the first reconciliation preparation. For the other grades, it's more of a monthly lesson. So really the only due date is the end of the month. So you can do any part of the lesson at any time in the month. We just ask that you try to have your kid post that reflection response by the end of the month. So to keep you on, track. Pickup. So material pickup is, and again, I'm looking at my calendar, I apologize, is September 9th, so a week from tonight. We will be here outside 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So 2 hours. We divided you by alphabet so that the first half might come 5:30 to 6:30, and the last half of the alphabet of your last name would come 6:30 to 7:30, just to spread you all out. But if you can't make that time, or if it's just more convenient for you to come at a different time, please come whenever you can during those 2 hours. I think we're probably going to finish up right at 7:30, and finish up whatever cars are there, and then get going, because it'll be a long night outside. But if you cannot make that night, and right now you cannot, send me an email. If you're trying and that particular night just goes to hell in a handbasket, do not worry. We will make sure that you get your materials soon. We do have access to our vestibule at door number 1 by the Jesus statue. That's open 6:30 a.m. I could always leave it there. I didn't want to leave everybody's there because we have over 90 families. So I can't leave 90 books times 2, 180 books, actually times 3. I can't leave that many books out in the vestibule. So we really do need you to come and pick them up if you can that night during those 2 hours. And like I said, though, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we'll get them to you. So what'll happen that night is just stay in your car and pretend you're driving through the parking lot, you know, that strip of the parking lot between the building and Father Peck's house. Just drive through that area toward the church. And if you remember, there's that statue of the Virgin Mary by the main church door, the big church door that you would normally go into. There's an overhang there, and we'll have things under the overhang in case it's raining, or in that vestibule in case it's raining. So it's officially door number 2, not door number 1. Door number 1 is the parish office. So door number 2, and we'll just have you pull up and we'll ask for your last name, and then we'll have a list of, you know, what you need, and we'll go and grab your books for you, and then get you on your way. Okay. I'm going to look to see if I've answered. Have I answered everything, Christy? Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else? Does someone else? Oh, no. Lower hand. Okay. If there's no other questions to share, please share them by email if you'd like. And if you're having a question, I'm sure somebody else will. So share by email. And if I get a lot of questions, I'll just send out a little update to this by email to answer questions. Okay. I want to thank you so much for choosing faith formation for your child this year. I know sometimes with some families, it might have been a hard choice because of what we have going on. So thank you for that. Thank you for spending 45 minutes here with us tonight. And thank you for the time that you'll spend raising your children in our most beautiful faith this coming year. So please continue to reach out if you have questions or concerns or ideas. We are here to help, and remember the goal. Relationship with Jesus, building that relationship with Jesus and his church. That's the goal. Trying not to get caught up in the lesson or in the I got to complete the book. We want you to complete the book, but we want you to build that relationship first and foremost. And that's the most important thing. That's the same message that I share with the classroom catechist. If we were back in the classroom, I would share that same message with them. The book is there. It always will give you more than what you can do. There is so much more in all those monthly or weekly lessons, depending on what you're doing. There's more than you'll be able to do. It's okay if you don't get it all done. If your family is growing in faith, if your family is growing deeper in relationship with Jesus and falling in love with Jesus, that's what we want. And the doctrine will come, and the beliefs will come, and it will be okay. It will all work, because love is more important right now. Christ's love, and that your family and your children and you feel that. That you are loved and you are appreciated, and you are personally, Christ personally sacrificed his life for you and for your wife or your husband or your ex-wife or your ex-husband and your children. And knowing that and falling in love with that idea is the most important thing that we want you to accomplish. So just keep that in mind, and I invite you all into that relationship, and thank you all. And then we're going to make sure that those 2 families get their Saint books at material pickup. So let's end in prayer. Christy, would you like to lead us in a short closing prayer? Yeah, turn your mic on.
How about if we just end with a quick glory be? Everyone together in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. God bless.
God bless you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.